Unbelievable shot by the U.S. Open champion, DeChambeau, yesterday. Thank you to U.S. Open for the highlight there. We welcome in a guy who knows about winning golf. It is indeed Steve Jones, 1996 U.S. Open winner. Steve, welcome, pal, as always. So our question of the day today is, and I want to get your opinion on this, being a guy who has been there and done that. It is our State 48 Roofing It's Your Call question of the day. Did Rory McIlroy lose the U.S. Open, or did Bryson DeChambeau win it? You have three choices. 1, Rory lost it. 2, Bryson won it. Or 3, a combination of both. What do you got, Steve?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's got to be a combination, just because Rory bogeyed 3 holes, so if he hadn't done that, he would have won. Bryson bogeyed a hole, so it looked like nobody wanted to win it for a while there. And then on the last hole, obviously, it looked like it could be a playoff. That was what Rory was looking for, I think. So that's usually what happens when in sports, as you know, somebody does something good and someone does something bad, and that's why you get the winners. And sometimes not a loser. Roy's not a loser. He just lost that tournament.
And we sent a lot of our people to Rock and Manuch on Twitter. So far right now, Rory lost it at 46%. Bryson won it at 20.8%. And then combination of both only at 33.3%. So I voted, you bogeyed 3 of the last 5 holes and you got the lead. I voted that Rory lost it. Unfortunate. Definitely. I think he definitely lost it. You bogeyed 3 out of the last 5. And you got it right there in your clasp. From that standpoint, that bunker shot you just heard, Steve, talk about from 55 yards away in that sand with those greens. How magical was that for him to hit that shot, number 1, and stick it somewhat 4 or 5 feet from the pin?
Yeah, that was kind of a good situation with that, the way the greens were rolling, plus that mound where you could kind of hit it up, kind of chunk and run it off the top of that mound and let it run down there. And I was thinking he might hit a 9-iron, but I think he might have hit a wedge. He doesn't have a lot of loft on some of his stuff anyway. But, yeah, definitely. I mean, Rory lost it with the 3 bogeys, but DeChambeau, if he bogeys the last hole, which it looked like he was going to, he was going to lose it. It was going to be a playoff, so who's going to play the best in the playoff? But Bryson won it at the end with the par. So it was exciting. I can't say I didn't like the fact that guys were bogeying at the end, because I bogeyed the 17th hole to make it tied, and then Love and Lehman both bogeyed 18, and I won by 1. So there's always seems to be some bogeys down at the end in a major, especially when it's the greens are so tough.
I thought that Brandon Chambly's comment before Rory hit that chip on 18 said, "Look, you need to leave this behind the hole, because if you get taken above the hole, that's pretty slick coming downhill." I mean, he nailed it as far as that comment. And then the ball is above the hole, and you just kind of go, oh, okay, that's in the back of your mind. And lo and behold, he tries to tap it in, and it goes right. Talk about maybe that was a mental gaffe by not leaving it below the hole as well, too, maybe, for Rory?
Yeah, I mean, he's juiced up a little bit. He's got to get it there. You don't want to leave it 8 feet short. And it was just it wasn't, he hit it maybe 6 inches or a foot too far. It would have made a big difference to have it a little closer, even though he missed one about not even 2 feet, I think, earlier. Sometimes that putter he has, when it's a heel shafted putter, when you get it forward in your stance, it's easy to let that club face, the toe, close over. And I think that's what happened. I was watching it, and then he played it back on the next hole. He made a nice 4-footer for par. Played it back just a little more. Could have been the TV angle, I don't know. But I've used those type of putters before, and it's really easy to flip the toe over and miss it left, especially if you're a little bit under the juice. But, he made 3 long putts, so it's like, well, he's putting good, but he just didn't close it, unfortunately for him. But, Bryson was bombing it, got good lies in the rough, and things happen good when you win.
Steve Jones is our guest. We're talking golf right now, the U.S. Open on the right Toyota guest line. Okay, so Bryson DeChambeau went from bad boy to not choir boy, but fun boy, as everybody now has attached themselves to him. He's the only guy, I think, on the tour, and correct me if I'm wrong, Steve, that plays with all of his clubs the same length and does the same exact move on every club. Is that just him? Nobody else on the planet could do that? Help me out there.
Well, I think he sells those clubs, so there's probably other people, but yeah, he's the one that kind of started that thing with the the lofts were so low and everything. I mean, you got a what is it, a 30-degree 7-iron or whatever, you can hit it 220.
Yeah, 220.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
The numbers, the numbers don't even matter to him. It's just, I hit this club this far and everything, and very unique. And he's made it, he's made it work for him. At the same time, I feel like it's kind of like Rory was playing against Greg Norman, Liv, all those players that are making all that money, where Rory still has to work hard to make a lot of his money. And, he's representing the tour. It's kind of that feeling to me. And he's really taken a lot of, his wife, and they got back together, which was good, but he had a lot on the plate. I mean, to play like he did, and it was a shame that he had to miss a couple right there at the end, because he definitely could have won, but there was a lot going on there. And I think Bryson was so much more relaxed, and, he was just going for it, and kind of that live way they do, 54 holes. He wears shorts. He talked to the crowd. I think it really came out with Bryson. It worked out for him this time. Roy could have won it, but you look at it and go, hey, it worked out for Bryson this time.
Okay, so how did he resurrect his career in your estimation as far as being a fan favorite? Because a couple of years ago, he was just despised.
Yeah, it was different. He's different, and sometimes, and in society, we look at certain people as being different. We don't, in golf, if you say hi to someone, they're like, oh, he said hi to me. Hey, he smiled at me. Hey, he threw a ball. Hey, he did this, instead of just going on your merry way and keeping to yourself. And some guys have to play like that. And other people have, for me, I had to talk, more of a Trevino-like situation,
Yeah.
I had to be like that, where I had to be, it loosened me up. If I hit it over the green and had an impossible shot, I would have to say, well, it's only money. It's no big deal.
3.
People would laugh, and that would maybe help me hit a better shot. Scheffler, Schauffele, different situation. Rory's a little bit, he smiles a little more, but, some guys just really get in tune, like Hogan, and Nicholas was really concentrating all the time. So it's just, you got to find out which way works best for you. I remember going through a time when I was an amateur. I'm going to be mad at every shot I don't hit right today. I'm going to be cool and calm at every shot. I don't care what happens. I was trying to find my emotional balance on the golf course, and that's what you got to find. If you get a little bit mad, okay, but you got to drop it and you move to the next shot, right? You can't let that affect you. Tiger was great at that. He might get mad. Boy, he was on to the next shot.
And I think the other thing too, Steve, when you think about it, this is his second U.S. Open, so he had something to draw off of.
Yes.
I mean, I'm sort of going, okay, so what did you draw off of to come down and go ahead and win that 1996 U.S. Open? Did you have anything to draw from? And that's crazy.
Well, I was thinking about the Yuma Open in Yuma, Colorado. I won back in 1976. That's what I was thinking.
All the way back to Yuma, not Arizona, but Colorado. Hey, last question what would you take away as a former Open champion from this 124th U.S. Open?
I thought it was brilliant. The golf course was one of those where, you got upside down solid plate they were talking about, and the greens are really about half the size, and they get firm. It's even a third of the size. And I mean, it helped to hit the fairways, but have shorter clubs in. So the guys that bombed it helped them again. Should there be tighter fairways as it gets farther? They did have some 30 and 40, 50-yard wide fairways, but overall, I mean, it was a tough test. It looked brutal sometimes. A lot of people didn't like it, but overall, you knew where you had to hit it, and if you didn't do it, you paid for it. It was a great success.
Steve, appreciate you taking time, short notice. Always love having you on the show to get your insights on golf. Thank you, Steve. Have a great day, pal.
You bet.
There you go.
Keep up the good work, guys.
Thank you, buddy. Steve Jones, there you go. 1996 U.S. Open winner on Bryson DeChambeau, Rory McIlroy, and what took place yesterday at Pinehurst, number 2, the U.S. Open Golf Championship. He was presented by the Sportsbook right here at the CAZ Sportsbook and also at Casino Arizona. 3 live betting windows. They have 6 self-service betting kiosks. They are open from 8 in the morning until 11 at night. You owe it to yourself. You want to come out tonight and watch the NBA game? You can watch and enjoy and make your wagers as well. Right here, the CAZ Sportsbook at Casino Arizona. When we come back, Suns radio analyst Tim Kempton as we dive into the NBA matchup tonight. Boston, Dallas, Rockin' Manuch with Jimmy